Is long-range warfare good for the game? As a marksman main who played this game for 763 days, as a marksman main, I think I have enough experience for me to talk about this topic in a large format, right? If your KVK is winter upon us, you know that seasonal talents generally bring long range warfare, which for some people it breaks the game. I have my own opinion, which I will share with you guys, right? First of all, let's see what long range warfare changes in the game, right? First of all, long-range warfare came out because archers was having low amount of range. If we're gonna compare them to the mages, right? And for example, for mages, attack range is very far, and for marksmen, the attack range is medium, right? So in the whole gameplay of Call of Dragons for almost 2 years, archer players was saying that it's not good. They have big advantage. They can be safe freely. They can deal damage without any problems. So it was a big topic, right? After that, game developers give us long-range warfare. Long-range warfare means you're gonna have less physical attack, but same range as mages. But in my opinion, it's not good for the game. So basically in Call of Dragons we have 5 types of troops, right? It's archer, infantry, mages, the cavalry and flying units. The beauty about this game, in my opinion, is that every single troop type in the game has a different reason of existence, right? For example, for the cavalry troops and cavalry players, we know you guys are weak in terms of defense, but you are super fast. You can run around the battlefield really, really fast, engage with enemies, and go back safely, right? And more heroes came out for cavalry players. They were more tanky, so it would be higher chance of surviving the battlefield, right? The mages were different because there were low amount of defense, low amount of physical attack like magic attack, but their main way of dealing damage was by the skill and from the long range, right? Long range gave mages a lot of flexibility, lot of survivability, but they have a low HP, low defensive stats, which means as in the moment you're gonna get closer to mages, you're gonna destroy them, right? For infantry is not the fastest. Infantry doesn't do a lot of damage, but they are tanky, right? They have high defensive stats, they have high amount of HP, which is kind of guaranteed in Call of Dragons that you're gonna be tanky, right? That's a different troop type if we're gonna compare to the mages and cavalry. The marksmen, for example, archers are having a less amount of range. They have medium HP, medium defensive stats, and highest amount of physical attack, right? So everything is really simple. One last one is flying units. They are like flying units for marksmen, flying units for mages, and flying units for the cavalry, right? So basically these 5 troop types in the game, they are totally different from each other. So what happens when long range comes into the game, right? It means that mages and archers are kind of crossed in terms of their way of playing the game, because they will have a same amount of range. They will, like, archers will have less amount of physical attack, which was the B plus for the archers, and they will have a very far away attack range. And yeah, nothing will be changing for mages, but a lot of things will be actually changing for mages, right? Because mages won't gonna be the farthest ranged troop type in the game who feels safe, because, well, archers will be able to catch them with the same range, and because archers will have more physical attack and more damage in general than mages, it will be easier for archers to destroy mages. Plus, we all know that mages are having really, really low amount of defensive stats in the game. So the big question which I asked in the start of the video was, is it good for the game that long range warfare exists, right? My main and most simple answer would be no, and I will explain why, right? First of all, I love the Call of Dragons because every single troop type has a different meaning in the game. If every single troop type was same, it will be really, really boring for everybody to try their luck in Call of Dragons, right? Because everybody would have same gameplay, everybody will have same struggles, same success stories, and it will be super boring, right? And yeah, I can show you what would be the main difference, right? Let's check the archer and let's check the mages, right? And let's try to attack the darkling, which is really far from us. Like, for example, this one, right? Let's see. Well, Well, that's a pretty bad analogy because, well, this is nice, right? See, this is the difference between the range mages and archers and the range difference, right? You might say it's not a big difference because it's like a 1 unit, 1 millimeter away, but trust me, during the PvP battlefield, this small change actually affects the game super hard, right? Because, well, archers will feel like mages, they will stand for a really, really far distance, and mages will feel like useless, right? Because they are really weak in terms of defensive stats, and their place, which was the faraway damage dealer, which was taken by the archers, which got long range warfare. So in my opinion, this change is not that good for the archers in general, is not that good for the mages in general, because whenever I started my journey of Call of Dragons, of like before 700 days, archers was having medium range, and you have to actually learn how to fight whenever you were using archers, right? Because when you have a medium range, you know that you will get targeted a lot of times. You are not safe. You want to maneuver around. You want to have a high march speed, because whenever enemy was targeting you, especially mages who had a freeze, they were reducing your march speed, that it was almost impossible for a medium range player to understand how to fight. But as long as you are continuing playing Call of Dragons and fighting in open field PvP, you understand that you better have a high physical attack, you better destroy infantry players, rather than having same range as a mage players but having less physical attack. For myself, I choose archers because it was the hardest role, in my opinion, to learn, and with the long range warfare coming to the game and maybe staying permanent, it won't gonna be the hardest role to actually learn in the game, because you will have a high range, you will feel safe, and you will just have one job: to stand still and deal damage. And in in my days, whenever I was starting the journey of Call of Dragons, honestly, it was not the case, right? Because you had medium range, you were not even tier 5, you had to move around the battlefield, because in a 1 second, if somebody would touch you, you were basically done, right? So I think this is the small reasons which I think is the important for us to mention. We love diversity in Call of Dragons, that's why I love this game, and I'm going to continue playing this game, even if long range warfare will be here. But my honest reaction and honest review would be, just keep troop types how it is right now. It's really good, right? Marksmen are having low range but high physical attack, mages high range but low damage, cavalry is fast but not tanky, infantry is slow but tanky, and most unique troop type in our game is flying units, which are different species in general, right? But this video won't gonna be only about if long range warfare is a good for the game or not, right? Right here I will have my own solutions, which I think will be even better than long-range warfare for the future of the game, right? Like, for example, as I said, whenever you're gonna see the seasonal talents on the seasonal feature, you know there is long-range warfare. In Season 3, when the last KVK in Season 3, when new addition to the game came out, which was Race of Remedy and the Treasury, I think Race of Remedy is way better than Long Range Warfare, right? And I will explain why. Race of Remedy is 40-minute buff, right? 40-minute buff means that you have to strategize yourself when to use it, how to use it, which battlefield is a correct moment for you to use it, which means additional planning for your future fights, right? That's amazing. Plus, it will be only for 40 minutes, 4-hour cooldown. You will be only able to use your Race of Remedy for the 4 hours at once, right? If we're gonna compare to long range warfare, for a moment you turned on your long range warfare, it will stay with you until you're gonna turn it off, which means it's basically forever, right? So I think forever stuff is kind of boring, even if it makes my own main troop type even better. But I truly believe, like, having a standard game with everything fixed, with the many different ways of playing the game, should be the most correct way of enjoying Kingdom Builder games. That's the reason why we have different troop types. That's the reason why we are not having some extra stuff in the game, right? So I think Race of Remedy healing is not only good for the archers, it's good for every single troop type. Mages, infantry, cavalry, archer, there is great, right? So it won't gonna mean that if Race of Remedy is here for a long shot, it will be only good for the archers. No, it will be good for every single player in the game. Timeless Treasury, right? Timeless Treasury was amazing because it was giving us the chance to fight even longer, because it was giving us some elixirs with the merits, right? And in other side, we have long range warfare, which is giving us a pure buff. Pure buff means that less attack for archers, more range, and it's a more specific buff, right? But that's the whole reason why I think Race of Remedy is much better for the healthy game of Call of Dragons. It's better to have 40 minutes buff, which will have a 4-hour cooldown, rather having like forever same range as mages, even if it's for a 1 KVK. I totally understand the reason, like sometimes 1 KVK will be mage centric, 1 KVK will be archer centric, and infantry and cavalry and so on, but why we should not have the balanced game where every single KVK, doesn't matter which kind of player you are going to have a lot of fun, right? That's my main idea. I want every single player to have fun in every single KVK. And for example, like when long range warfare will be in my next KVK, I'm pretty sure it will be horrible KVK for mage players, right? It will be horrible KVK for infantry players, because archers will be standing from the long range, defeating mages, destroying infantries, and it's not good for the game, right? Why not give us Race of Remedy, which will be staying in the game, which will be great for mages, archers, infantry, cavalry, just depends on your playstyle, right? And overall, my idea is that players should have a choice. Out of my 763 days, I love this game because I always had a choice. If I wanted mages, I would go for mages. If I wanted archers, I would go for archers. And it was a strict rules, right? And the rules which I'm speaking right now, I already spoke, which I won't gonna repeat. And general idea is that give every single player, cavalry, infantry, mages, flying players, the buffs and new things which will be great for everybody, not for one particular playstyle, not for one particular troop type, right? Like for example, as an archer player who played this game with the medium range and with the long range warfare, I truly believe even if archers will stay on a medium range, it's a great for the game. Archers will learn how to fight, and trust me, I generally got more merits with my medium range archers, but with Race of Remedy, rather having a long range warfare. Sometimes it feels like whenever I'm having long range warfare with the archers that I feel like I'm mage, right? I'm not saying I won't gonna choose long range warfare myself. Of course, I will try everything what is coming out of the game, everything what is new, everything what is old but coming back. Of course, I'm gonna try it because I'm a player who wants to try new things. But in terms of healthy game, in terms of PvP gameplay of Call of Dragons, I truly believe long-range warfare is kind of breaking the game. Not only breaking the game, it gives a lot of bad aura to the community to speak about. Why not speak about how we're gonna make something good and better, rather than like let's change what we already created, right? It's good. Archers are having great stuff, medium range, high amount of counter attack, a lot of physical attack, normal amount of defensive stats. That's good enough. That's already great, right? That's good. This is the specific characteristics of archers. Same goes to every single troop type. So I truly believe if they will give us long range warfare in the future, it will be better if it will be Race of Remedy. Like, this video might be called Race of Remedy versus Long Range Warfare, and I don't know, from 10 out of 10 times, as an archer main who played this game for more than 700 days, I truly believe Race of Remedy is better for archer players in terms of merits. Race of Remedy is better for the healthy game. Race of Remedy is better for every single player who is playing Call of Dragons, no matter of the troop type. Plus, We are already in the late game. I'm pretty sure a lot of tier 5 players are playing with every single troop type already, so it will be better if they will enjoy them together, right? So maybe you guys have same opinion as me, maybe not, but I will be more than glad to check your opinions to see what you guys actually think about long range warfare and the game state whenever long range warfare is here. That's what I wanted to share. If you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It will give me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.